How did your parents fail you? I was 11 when mom married him. Steve, the guy with the perfect smile and the firm handshake that turned into something else behind closed doors. Dad had been gone 3 years by then. Cancer took him fast. Mom was lonely, working 2 jobs, and Steve seemed like salvation in a pressed shirt. The first time it happened, I was doing homework at the kitchen table. Mom was working late again. Steve came in, beer in hand, and stood too close behind my chair. "You're smart," he said, his breath hot on my neck. "Not like your mother." His hand landed on my shoulder, squeezing just hard enough to hurt. I didn't move, didn't breathe. That night, I pushed my dresser against my bedroom door. I tried telling Mom once. "Steve makes me uncomfortable," I whispered as she rushed to get ready for her shift. She paused, mascara wand in midair. "He's trying his best, Emily. Please, he's paying for this roof." Then she was gone, the sound of her car fading down the street. For 2 years, I became invisible in my own home. I learned to move silently, to predict his moods by the sound of his keys in the door. I stayed at friends' houses, at the library, anywhere but home. My grades dropped. I stopped playing soccer. Mom noticed but blamed it on teenage stuff. On my 13th birthday, Steve gave me a silver necklace in front of Mom. "For my favorite girl," he said, voice sticky with fake affection. Mom beamed, thinking we were finally bonding. Later, alone in the hallway, he leaned in close. "You're growing up nicely," he whispered. I ran to the bathroom and threw up. That night, I recorded everything. Every comment, every accidental touch, every time he'd entered my room. I wrote it all down, hands shaking, tears blurring the ink. The next morning, I left the pages on Mom's pillow before school. When I came home, Steve's car was gone. Mom sat at the kitchen table, eyes red and swollen, my letter crumpled in her fist. She didn't speak, just opened her arms. I stood frozen, not trusting this sudden shift. When I came home, Steve's car was gone. Mom sat at the kitchen table, eyes red and swollen, my letter crumpled in her fist. She didn't speak, just opened her arms. I stood frozen, not trusting this sudden shift. "Did you believe me?" I finally asked. "Yes," she whispered, "and I'm sorry I didn't see it, that I made you feel like you couldn't tell me." Her voice broke. "I failed you." We moved out that weekend, just packed what mattered and left. We stayed with my aunt while Mom found a smaller apartment and picked up extra shifts. Things were tight, but the air felt breathable again. Years later, in college, I found an old photo of Mom from that time. She looked exhausted, hollowed out. I realized she'd been drowning. A widow at 34 with a child, no degree, crushing debt from Dad's medical bill. She thought Steve was the only way out. She failed me by not protecting me when I needed it most. But later I understood. She was failed too, by a system that left her so desperate, so alone, that a monster with a steady paycheck seemed like the only option. She's still trying to make it right, and slowly, I'm learning to let her.